Do you want to stop panic attacks? Are you sick and tired of suffering with anxiety 24/7 and worrying when the next panic attack will strike? If you said yes, then watch this video until the very end to discover how to stop panic attacks for good. Look, the ugly truth is that panic attacks can dominate your life and feel like a stalker constantly in the background threatening to attack you. But the good news is you don't have to suffer anymore. You see, there is a solution that I'm going to reveal to you in this short video. But first, who the heck am I? My name is Andrew, and I've suffered with a severe anxiety, panic attacks, and agoraphobia for years and years. I went to the hospital at least 9 times. I've taken every pill that the doctor gave me, and literally nothing worked. I was honestly crippled by my panic attacks, like literally disabled. I couldn't work. I couldn't go on dates. I couldn't hang out with friends. I really couldn't do anything. It was, needless to say, a nightmare. I was living in a nightmare. And maybe that's how you feel too right now. So it really stopped until one day I basically just had enough, and I began desperately searching for a solution and learning literally everything about panic attacks. I spent, no joke, thousands of hours mastering panic attacks in order to stop my own. And once I became free from anxiety, I figured I needed to kind of spill the beans to help millions of other sufferers just like yourself. And now I've helped over 300 people just like you become free from anxiety and panic attacks. It's my mission in life to stop the pain and suffering because you can overcome it. I have, and plenty of other people have. You can too. You just need the right tools and strategies. So let's dive right in. First, I'm going to explain how panic attacks work so you can begin to see how you can stop them forever. It starts with the first symptom. Let me circle it. Here's the symptom right here. So this could be dizziness, lightheadedness, heart racing, racing thoughts, hand tingling. I mean, there's a massive list. There's like a grocery list of different sensations and thoughts that you can have with anxiety and panic attacks. It is awesome. My biggest symptoms were my heart pounding like it was going to literally beat out of my chest. Like out of nowhere, I would just feel like it would pop. Like I felt like my heart. It's difficult to explain, but if you've been through this, then you understand it. But it literally feels like your heart's about to pop out of your chest. It's scary. In the comments below, by the way, tell me some of your scariest symptoms and what you've been through. So another symptom for me was severe dizziness, to the point where I literally felt like I was on a boat 24/7, rocking back and forth. Not fun. And naturally, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was, I thought it was the end for me. And I mean, honestly, realistically, if anyone's heart began to pound and race, they would freak out too. I mean, it's pretty normal. I mean, it would be pretty strange to have your heart racing out of nowhere while you're sitting on the couch and you're just like, yeah, it's no big deal. No big deal. I mean, every time my heart would pound like it would beat out of my chest. I thought I was having a heart attack or about to have a heart attack. So we can get these symptoms for a lot of different reasons. It could be a ton of pent up stress. It could be something that we ate. It could be a lack of sleep. It could be a million different things. But the point is that we have that symptom and we think, why is this happening? What is going on with me? Am I okay? Am I dying? So our thoughts about what is going on is what forces us to spiral out of control into an actual panic attack. And it begins as this harmless symptom, this physical or mental sensation, and we add our interpretation of what we think is going on. And naturally, we fear the worst, right? I mean, it's simple. It's smart to fear the worst and to be wrong than to not take it seriously and it actually end up being something that kills us. So once again, it starts out as a symptom and we add our own interpretation, and it's the thoughts. So our thoughts of what's going on, this interpretation, skyrockets our anxiety. So our thought is literally adding fuel to the fire of the symptoms. You see, this is actually the point where we can not just stop a panic attack from happening, but we can actually prevent it altogether. The questions we start asking ourselves and the worries about it, what could be actually what throw the fuel on the fire. And now we're really starting to freak out. So we're asking these questions like, am I going to die? Is this a heart attack? Am I going crazy? What the hell's going on? So what happens? It's simple. Our mind perceives the threat, the symptom, And then our mind launches our body into the fight or flight response. And now the fight or flight response is our hardwired response to a real or perceived threat. Now, I notice I put emphasis on the perceived because, as many as you know, if you're having panic attacks, you can have a panic attack while you're chilling on the couch, while you're relaxing, not doing anything scary. But we still have panic attacks. The problem in the case of a panic attack is there's no actual threat, right? So you'll discover in future videos how all the symptoms that we experience with anxiety and panic attacks are 100% harmless, even though they are scary as hell. So the fight or flight response automatically starts changing our body and getting it ready for action to literally fight or run away from the threat, right? So very simply, our mind perceives a threat and it says to our body, okay, there's a threat. There's something that could kill us. We need to get the hell out of here. So it prepares us for fight or flight. Fight or flight. So our breathing starts getting faster to give us more energy. Our heart starts racing to pump blood to our arms and legs to fight the attacker, the predator, or to run away. Is this starting to sound familiar? Our body is doing what it's supposed to. It's helping protect us from fear by getting us ready to get the heck out of harm's way. The problem, though, is that our fight or flight response is actually not needed in this moment because there's no real threat, right? But by the way, we're talking to ourselves and the thoughts we're having about the symptoms, right? Going back to it. So the thoughts, this is the key. The way we're talking to ourselves and the thoughts we're having about the symptoms, we are sending signals to our brain that yes, there is a danger. I'm going to die. I'm going to have a heart attack. This causes even more symptoms. And around we go. So we start having a faster heartbeat. We start getting even dizzier. As the symptoms get worse, you throw even more fuel on the fire by saying, oh my God, what the hell is going on? Am I really going to die right now? What is happening? You start panicking. You start freaking out. So then your mind, once again, perceiving an even bigger threat, right? Because now our thoughts are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. The symptoms get worse and worse and worse and worse. So your mind perceiving an even bigger threat gives you even more of the fight or flight response, right? So to recap, you feeling a simple yet harmless symptom starts out here that you don't like, such as dizziness, heart beating, etc. It could be anything. And because of our thoughts here, we increase it until it explodes. Bam! It explodes. I feel like John Madden, if you guys get that reference. It explodes into a full-blown panic attack. And we just keep going around and around and around in this cycle until we're panicking. And you can panic for hours like this if you keep adding the thoughts onto it. Then, I've literally been to the hospital and panicked for hours at a time because the thoughts was, once again, it was fueling the symptoms. The symptoms were fueling the thoughts. It was going back and forth. It was a downward spiral. And this is the big idea. This is the crucial point that you need to get. It is not where you are that causes your panic attacks. So for me, anytime I was standing in line at the grocery store, I remember it vividly. I remember as if it was yesterday. My legs would start shaking. I'd get dizzy. My heart was racing. And my mind would start racing. And for me, driving was another trigger. Naturally, I thought it was those places. I thought it was the grocery store. I thought it was seeing my friends. I thought it was, going out to the gym. I thought it was working out. I thought, you could have a ton of different things that trigger you. And I began to avoid them, right? You may be avoiding these same things as well. I mean, who the hell would go to places that gave them a panic attack, right? The problem is, after having a panic attack at enough places, I had nowhere else to go except for my own safe place, which was my apartment. And that's exactly how agoraphobia develops. Basically, you have a panic attack at enough places to where everywhere is scary. From your mind's perspective, like everywhere, there's basically a mugger. That's going to give you the fight or flight response. It's going to make you panic. It's going to make you want to run away. So the good news is, though, is that we can fix this. And the great news is the fact that we are creating our own panic attacks. You see, we're doing this to ourselves, which means that we also have the power to stop this cycle and prevent panic attacks altogether. So you're seeing this cycle happen, right? And we can stop the cycle before it even gets started. And the point that you can prevent the panic attack is the first thought. This is key. I don't know how many more arrows I can draw, but the thoughts, that is key. The point that you can prevent the panic attack is the first thought. It's that what if thought. What is going on? What if I die? What if I have a heart attack? I can't handle this. This is too much. People are going to think I'm crazy, etc. Now, you know that the sensations you've been feeling are 100% harmless and they're just uncomfortable. So you can begin to stop asking yourself why. Remember, the symptoms are harmless symptoms. They could be a food that you ate made your heart race. I mean, caffeine, for example, makes your heart race. There's a million different foods that cause this, and I'll get into that in another video. So when you cut out the misinterpretations of the symptoms, right? So our heart is racing, but that's completely harmless. There's nothing going on. There's no heart attack. But in our mind, I mean, it's completely normal and logical. Anyone would do it. You know, literally any person, whether they had anxiety or panic or not, if they were to have their heart start racing out of nowhere, they would have a similar reaction. It's 100% normal. But the point is when you cut out the misinterpretation, the thoughts of the symptoms, that's when you can begin to overcome panic attacks once and for all and finally heal. And remember, everyone gets dizzy from time to time. Everyone has a faster than normal heartbeat. It doesn't have to send you into panic mode. So the first step is to change your thoughts from what the hell is going on to, okay, this is kind of annoying, but I'm not in any danger and it's going to pass soon. Now, for the initial symptom, you may not realize it, but some of the foods you're eating are probably causing these symptoms. Like I said, caffeine. Caffeine increases our heart rate and can cause anxiety. But there are little known foods that 99% of us don't realize are actually causing the initial symptoms. In the next video, I'll show you what those are. Sleep is another factor. When we had too little sleep, our body is prone to anxiety. So remember, the panic attack cycle. The solution is twofold. First, stop adding fuel to the fire with the thoughts. Big arrow. With the thoughts you're having about the symptoms, you're misinterpreting what's really going on, and you're catastrophizing harmless sensations to be 100 times, 1,000 times more than they really are. And that is why you panic. Second, avoid the foods that are giving you the initial symptoms, like dizziness, like heart racing, etc., etc., etc. So the big idea in this video is to stop panic attacks is simply not to launch your fight or flight response by fearing the symptoms. When you have panic attacks, you literally fear the fear. And don't feel bad, I did the same thing. I remember visiting family and worrying, I hope I don't have a panic attack here. Oh my God, that would be so bad. It would be so humiliating. Everyone would think I'm a nutcase. What I didn't realize is that these thoughts were turning on the panic attack switch in my brain. Literally, I was pressing the panic attack button in my brain. So, I mean, we believe panic attacks are something that just happen and we can't control them, right? And you may think that, but it's a lie. The truth is, not only can we control the panic attacks, we are literally causing our own panic attacks. There's nothing wrong with you. Your alarm system is simply on high alert and you can reset it back to normal. So in this video, if it helped you at all, please give it a like and a share and subscribe to my channel for more videos to help you stop panic attacks. Also, in the comments below, tell me what questions you guys have about panic attacks and I'll be sure to answer them. I overcame my panic attacks and agoraphobia and you can too. You really can. I suffered with that nightmare so you don't have to. And that's why I do this. If you want to learn more, then join my free email newsletter. The link is in the description. And if you're ready to get started, I have a program called the Free From Anxiety System. It helps you attack panic attacks from literally every angle, and it gives you all the tools and techniques that you need to put this nightmare behind you for good. I look forward to hearing how you ended your panic attacks once and for all, and if you want more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button. Talk soon.